ESG scores are going to destroy the entire planet. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Shift Up Studios, the company behind the smash hit Stellar Blade that broke ground because they didn't fall victim to Western culture and wanted a beautiful lead character to play as the main protagonist, and the game was epic on top of all of that, has now gone public in Korea, and boy, did they make a lot of money. But this also means that because they are now public, they are now falling victim to the same thing all these other companies always fall victim to. ESG scores, environmental, social, and governance. Those of you that aren't too familiar with it, it's often called sustainability. In a business context, sustainability is about the company's business model, i.e. how its products and services contribute to a sustainable development. So people can take this and think, oh, the best intentions, ESG scores are going to curb the planet and make everything happy and good again. When in reality, it's basically a synonym for the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article talking about the ESG scores and Shift Up going public and how this could contribute to the downfall of what looked to be one of the beacons of hope in the video game industry, leading us to the promised land. Huge shout out to Gigabear for posting this on Twitter. He said, Shift Up is hiring. Do you have any skills in ESG to please all the new investors? Apply today. And he linked a screenshot of a job listing for IR manager. Shift Up included responsibilities like public disclosure of listed companies, committee work, and publication of ESG reports. This has raised some serious alarm bells in the video game industry with real gamers, as Shift Up and other studios in China and Korea have been seen as beacons of hope against this whole woke ideology in Western gaming. But when you go public, disclosures are needed to be required, and ESG scores are a part of that because we have the bigwigs like BlackRock and Vanguard with 90% or so of the planet's income, at least it feels that way sometimes, putting money into these companies, directing them to exactly what they want them to do. And I don't want to completely go full-blown the sky is falling, Shift Up as we know them is dead, because they may still just do what they've always done. There's always a potential for that. But the long-term effects have yet to be seen with the ESG adoption. In an industry where core customer base often feels alienated by corporate decisions, this could be a significant misstep. And I get it. There was a lot of money to garner from going public up front. According to IGN, they went public and raised a whopping $320 million. So that's kind of hard to say no to after you have a successful game and you go public and that kind of money is waiting for you. I get it. But at the end of the day, at what cost was going public? The concern is that the ESG principles could lead to further censorship and alterations to not just in-game content, but also future game products from Shift Up. What they make next, how they go into that, the corporations and consultancy groups that they start to partner with, because it's all so convenient once you get in the club with these people to all start intermingling. Prioritizing social and environmental goals over creative freedom and gamer satisfaction, more importantly, is what this world has come to. And I get it. You want to be sustainable and do all these right things and good things for the environment. But the reality of ESG has been proven to be anything but sustainability for the environment. It's a bunch of fake stuff that they put out there to raise scores so that they get more investment dollars from these huge corporations. Give Me a Banhammer on Twitter said, Shift Up goes publicly listed. Now needs to make ESG reports. Well, It was fun while it lasted, Shift Up. Grums on Twitter said, Shift Up has fallen. After going public, they will be required to publish ESG reports. Everyone does this, including Tesla, so we have to see what the final reports focus on. Grums continued, technically, ESG reports are not required by law, but they are required in the sense that large corporate bond credit rating agencies and investment firms want them. As a public company who wants active trading, you publish these reports. Now they can focus on different things. Not all focus on DEI. For example, some like Tesla will focus on environment and sustainability. This is why I said we'll have to wait and see what their reports end up focusing on for Shift Up. Savvy Artist replied, until legislation changes and ESG isn't a tax benefit, this will never change. They went public, so naturally they want people to buy their stuff, and the people with money care about ESG because ESG benefits their investing, because the governments put emphasis on ESG. It's all connected. Anyway, Blackstone is actively contributing to the global housing crisis, but thank God they have a DEI ESG page to balance out all the homelessness they're causing. And while Grums is right here, ESG reports are not legally mandated. But at the same time, they're kind of required if you're going to be attracting investor attention with the big money. That's what they look for and have been looking for the better part of the last decade or so, maybe even longer than that. Like ESG scores have taken over the investment world. It's directly correlated to why there's so many consultancy agencies like Sweet Baby Inc. or Black Girl Gamers out there right now, keeping them afloat so that companies hire them and say, oh, we had an external company come in to ensure that we have good inclusivity and diversity and equitability for all of our game characters so that we can raise our ESG scores up. They're essential for attracting the attention of not just investors, but major corporate bond credit rating agencies and investment firms. For a public company like Shift Up that wants to maintain active trading, producing ESG reports is pretty vital, to put it nicely. It's uncertain what areas Shift Up will choose to highlight in their ESG reports, but we gotta call it a requirement at this point if you want to meet investor expectations, introduces a huge downside to going public. This could shift the company's focus away from the core mission and values, impacting the creative and operational decisions. And that's not a great sign. I gotta be honest. Shift Up was one of those companies that made me feel like gaming was turning a corner, where we could have these independent studios create incredible experiences. And yes, I get it. I know there's a small segment of people out there that would say Shift Up censored the outfits on Eve and they can't be trusted because of that. And yes, you're right. I'm not going to argue that. Or how they censored the hard R shop because of the controversy around that, even though many people would look at that and say, that's not even a problem. What do you guys do? Why would you do that? Including myself. I thought that was one of the most ridiculous censorship decisions out there. But that's what you gotta do, unfortunately, when you want to play ball with the big guys like Sony and you have them impacting your creative decisions. It sucks. But I still felt, with all of that happening, that Shift Up was different than the average game company. But in the grand scheme of what Shift Up has done throughout what's going on in the game industry right now, I'd say it pales in comparison to what other companies have done to censor their games, which is exactly why this is a gigantic concern. Shift Up's decision to go public and adopt ESG criteria may bring immediate financial benefits, as IGN reported, but it risks eroding the trust and loyalty of the core gaming audience. The company now faces the challenge of balancing its new ESG commitments with the expectations of gamers. And I'm going to be watching this pretty closely. The studio's ability to maintain its creative integrity while also satisfying new corporate responsibilities ultimately is all that matters. And some may say this is the shift down of Shift Up Studios. And yes, it hasn't happened yet, but this is the type of thing that you could call the domino effect and the first domino of many falling. And will their company completely fall apart and fall victim to ESG scores and public pressure of investors and making sure they do the right thing to garner the most money from these companies and censor their games? Potentially. It remains to be seen. But as of right now, I just wanted to bring this information to you guys because I thought it was fascinating that one of the companies that we held up high as a potential beacon of hope has just fallen victim to the same damn thing that seems to happen to every game company out there. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, like I said, check out smashjt.com. I have the full article, links, tweets, references. Huge shout out to Minimal Effort Gaming, Grums, Gigabear, tons of people contributing to this story. It is a wild turn of events that I was hoping would not happen, but let's be honest, it feels like this is exactly what always seems to happen when it comes to success in this world. If you guys enjoy what I'm doing and appreciate the work I'm putting into this stuff, please consider hitting that join button. I would genuinely appreciate you for that. Thank you so much to everyone who already has, and you stay smashing.
Smash it,